Hey, how's it going, guys? It's Trevor here today, and I want to talk to you guys about the massive decline we've been seeing in the different Metaverse coins. Personally, in my opinion, I think this is generally, we've seen the massive drop-off because of the drop-off in Bitcoin price due to a lot of, over-leveraged traders, as well as just some FUD in the market. So, in my personal opinion, I definitely believe that the Metaverse coins right now are a screaming buy. This is simply because it's harder to find a growth story larger than Metaverse. I think all of us have seen crazy amounts of news from Kathy Woods from ARK Invest to CNBC to other videos on YouTube to just everyone talking about the Metaverse and the potential it has down the road. So with that being said, I want to get right into this video and talk to you guys why Mana should be in your portfolio and at what prices I'm personally buying at. So if you like this kind of thing, guys, please be sure to like the video and subscribe to my channel. It helps out a lot, and I really appreciate it. So let's go. So this is from CoinDesk.com. Today they came out with a article talking about why the Metaverse tokens are getting hammered. This analyst agrees with me, saying that there's real adoption in the present for different Metaverse applications, and that basically in the long term, it could really possibly pay off huge for investors getting in 2021, as well as probably 2022 as well, and later down the road, because there's so much growth in this area. But specifically 2021 could be an incredible opportunity for investors to get into the Metaverse and Metaverse coins, Metaverse stocks, whatever it is that you like and then like to invest in. Could be an incredible opportunity. And I think for people that are already invested in Mana, they can already see that, it's been an incredible opportunity for them so far. So we can see that just earlier this month, the market capitalization of Mana was $10 billion. And that was actually just November 25th. So that's about 2 weeks ago. And as of today, December 6th, this thing is sitting at $6.63 billion. So it's seen over a 30% correction in Mana price. And that is honestly not too surprising, seeing as how much it's ran up. You're going to have people taking profit, people that want to take their gains and run away and, see what else they can invest in, possibly make profit from that. But in my personal opinion, any sort of massive dip like this, 30% plus in such a growing market, is just a screaming buy. This article also goes to talk about how Axie Infinity, one of the biggest play to earn games right now in the crypto space, is also down 23% just in the past week, which is almost the same as what happened to Mana, because their market cap prior was 9.77 billion and currently it's 6.21 billion. So in other words, it's not too hard to evaluate and come to the conclusion that there's just a broader sell-off in the crypto market, and that if you are a bull on crypto, it'd probably be a good idea to be a bull on the Metaverse as well. Also, here's a crazy stat that I don't know if a lot of Mana holders know, but Metaverse tokens such as Mana have a high percentage of holders that bought within the past 30 days. 32% of Mana holders. We can also see Sand, the coin for the Sandbox, is down 25% in the last 7 days, somewhat mirroring Mana's dip over that time span. So if you guys want to look at a little bit of TA for Mana, today essentially it hit lows of 324, and it's been climbing since all the way up to about 388. So what we will see in the short term, I do not know. We've seen a lot of stocks just explode today, 10%, 15% gains. Del Taco, I don't know if any of you guys watched that one. That one's like 66% today because Jack in the Box is buying them. But I digress. We're seeing extreme volatility in the crypto market as well as the stock market, and I expect that to continue for the rest of the year, definitely, and possibly into January, February, March of next year. So here we go to the main reason why I'm so bullish on the Metaverse, as well as especially Mana, is because, Kathy Woods came out. She says the Metaverse could be worth trillions and will affect the world in ways we cannot even imagine right now. So I 100% agree. She basically goes into this video and talks about essentially how the Metaverse is not necessarily just constrained to gaming or social media type aspects of our world. It could be integrated into different businesses, different industries, as well as possibly the government, possibly all sorts, like things we can't even imagine right now. So basically think about the internet back in the 90s, where we saw 1700+ % gains year over year in adoption of the internet. That's, in my personal opinion, the way that the Metaverse is going to be 2, 3, 5+ years from now. So getting in early, I think, could be extremely beneficial, could absolutely be life-changing. And I'm not advocating that you should put your whole portfolio into crypto like Mana or Sandbox or even Bitcoin or Ethereum. But I think a diversification into the Metaverse could definitely be very, very profitable over the long term. Especially if you have a long-term mindset. I'm not a trader personally. I like long-term investments, and I like diversifying my assets into different things that could pay me dividends for years and years to come without me even knowing exactly what the overall market share could possibly be. It's kind of like Tesla, back in 2015 to 2019. If you were buying that, You know, how were you supposed to know they were going to come out with a robot that could, you know, basically integrate with their autonomous driving software and get into that, you know, that market as well? These companies and these huge ideas that are just game changing, life changing, and where you can't even wrap your mind completely around what all it's going to affect. I think it's worth taking a gamble on some of your portfolio after you've done your own research to understand that these assets can be very volatile. And if they, you know, go down in the short term, it's probably just a really good buying opportunity. There's FUD in the market. Okay. Other people can sell their shares, their coins. I'll buy them up. No worries. I appreciate it. So yeah, guys, I'm going to keep making videos on Mana and Sandbox because I really do believe those two specifically right now are really primed for a lot of market share here in the future. Because, I mean, if you think about the Facebooks, the Twitters, the Shopifys, the Amazons back in the day, what set them apart was that they had the developers, they had the market share, and essentially these grouped everyone in together, and essentially these companies were where everyone flocked. And I think that the metaverse has a pretty good opportunity to be that same way, in the fact that people are going to want to flock to the same metaverse because they're going to be wanting to see changes, and they're going to be wanting to see their friends, and everyone's going to be kind of adopting, I think, kind of the same narrative and the same applications to a certain extent. If something really new comes out, you know, like let's say the Tesla of the metaverse comes out, then that could change a lot of the metaverse. So we're basically into this in the infantile stage. So if you've been buying Fords your whole life, and then Tesla comes out with an electric vehicle and just demolishes, you know, the Fords, the GMs of the world, then we'll see where it goes. You know, it might not be such a good idea to be in Mana or Sandbox long term, but as of right now, I think that's where the developers are at. And I think that that's where market share is heading towards. It's the Sandbox and the Mana, the Decentraland, are essentially becoming the Facebook and the Twitter right now. Like I said, doesn't mean that it's going to be like that forever. There could be disruption in the metaverse itself. I think Facebook itself, you know, getting into the metaverse with renaming and rebranding itself to Meta, could have a very large impact on this industry as well. So time will tell. But I think diversifying your portfolio into something that has such a large reward to it. There's a large risk. Don't get me wrong, large risk in Mana and Sandbox right now, especially since they went up so much this year. I believe prior this year, Decentraland was only 6 cents. If you already got into it, yeah, 4 cents, 5 cents. If you already got into it last year, basically a year ago, you would have made incredible gains. So I can see why some investors are somewhat wary of getting into an asset that's risen so much, you know, so quickly. Basically, since October, this thing is, I don't know, 10x, almost 10x. So that's a lot of money there, and a 10x from the previous year. So you're basically seeing a 100x gain in this asset over the past year. But at the same time, we're seeing a lot of support. You know, we're seeing volatility, a lot of volatility in this asset. But at the same time, people aren't necessarily selling. We've seen a lot of volatility just in the past month of basically in the upwards direction. So like I said, guys, stay tuned. Please subscribe, like the video. It really helps me out, helps the channel out a lot, and I really appreciate it. And stay tuned because I'm going to bring videos about Decentraland, Sandbox, and other cryptos and other different metaverse coins, metaverse stocks to you guys, so you guys can be as informed as you can be about different assets with really, really high rewards. You know, like I said, somewhat high risks as well, but at the same time, I'm not advocating you put your whole portfolio into it. I'm also not a financial advisor, so don't sue me, bro. I really appreciate you guys watching, and have a great night.